Happiness from within is when you are in alignment, for me, when you are in alignment with yourself and you're allowing the flow of your higher self, which a lot of it is unknown, to move through you and to guide you and bring you forth rather than blocking it off and trying to control things, just allowing it to be. And then when I do that, it just opens up and magic, wonderful things start happening. You know, if I was out of alignment, I probably would not be here on this awesome podcast with you. And it's interesting how I even found it. So just allowing it to be free to be. Yes, you're totally free to just be.
Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to another beautiful episode of Happiness from Within. I'm so ecstatic that you are here listening or watching with us. I am also beyond ecstatic. I have another really incredible guest to present to you guys today. Her name is Jennifer Mason. She is an incredible, outstanding manifestation coach. And I actually have her here, and she's going to help to guide us, what we can do to manifest, right? And she's going to share her story and her journey, and to help you guys come out of the darkness into the light, and in some way to help you touch your heart and soul at a very deep level, which is our mission here at Happiness Within. So I actually have her here. Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you. What a beautiful introduction. I'm honored to be here and happiness from within. What a great mission. So beautiful. Thank you.
Absolutely. It's an honor to have you here. So take us through your journey. Where did you grow up? Where your childhood?
I grew up in a small town in Colorado. It was semi-farm agricultural town. And in that area, my dad was a real estate agent and he was a big, the big money-making guy out there. And um, that and with me and him didn't get along very good. So I started to think there's got to be other ways, other things that I'm being shown. And so I ended up, the day when I was 17, I found somebody that was living in Boulder that to me just blew my mind, blew my whole world open with his psychic capabilities and understanding about everything. And so I was like, wow, I'm going to go in this direction. And when I was 18, I moved to Boulder and I joined this. I didn't realize, okay, let's just say this. I didn't realize that it was a cult-like situation. Like I had no idea. So I actually didn't even realize that until 10, 15 years ago, really, that I was like, wait a minute. So, anyways, but through that time, I really, being in that world, I really dove deep into metaphysics, everything, because my true purpose driving force was to find God and to find joy and find happiness in really knowing God, not what I was raised with, the figure in the sky kind of idea. So, so anyways, I went through that journey and over I stayed in that situation for about 4 or 5 years in Boulder. I had a baby out of it, and then I switched over and I went from that, and I was like, "Ooh, that was kind of weird." So maybe I should try to be normal like other people. And then I tried getting married and buying a house and all of that kind of stuff, and honestly, that just wasn't my movie. That wasn't my jam. I needed a lot more. So I just continued on my spiritual journey and, over time, just exploring a lot of things and really discovering the power of manifestation a little bit later in life. So that's kind of a general background.
No, that's great. Thank you for sharing. It's interesting how you were sharing about how you discovered spirituality, right? If you don't mind me sharing, when I was 11, there's something very unique about 1-1 and just the repeated numbers, right? Were you the type of person that, I'll finish sharing this, like, were you the type of person that you feel sometimes like you want to spend time alone because people might drain your energy sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, I create my space to have my alone. I sleep in a teepee outside to really ground, you know. So, but yeah.
No, that's great. I was mentioning that because I remember when I was 11, it's not that I wasn't around people, it's just, as sensitive beings, like that are intuitive or doing stuff, like spirituality stuff, we tend to be, may or may not be sensitive, but usually because, we have these gifts, right? So I remember wanting to spend time alone when I was, because we used to live on this like ranch thing, a ranch
Oh,
thing.
ranch
We
thing.
lived on a ranch for like a few years. This is when I was not in Los Angeles. I lived up in Washington. And no, I just mentioned this because it's interesting. Everybody has their journey of finding their spirituality. And I knew that there was something very unique about nature because I'd go and we had like this huge acres and acres of land, right?
Oh
And I'd
yeah.
go and I'd go and I just wanted to be by myself and be by the trees. And so I just thought it was very unique how you were sharing about how you found your spirituality. And it's
Well, there.
interesting. Oh,
Oh,
go
go.
ahead.
No, I was just saying, like you being 11, like how beautiful is that? To really start connecting at that age. I have such an affinity with kids. I work a lot with kids and with young adults. So I just honor that you so early.
Yeah, it's really unique. Everybody has their own journey of whatever that means, right? Of finding themselves. So, I thought it was interesting how you said about normal. I want to talk a little bit about this. It's interesting what society says, like what is normal, right? The normal, like, um, you know, go to school, which is important, right? Go to college and then have a lot of debt and then get married, have kids, and then you go through adulthood and then you die, right? Like it's like this is interesting because like I think about that, like I've had this dialogue with a few people before and what really is normal, right? I don't really think that there is a normal, right? It's like maybe what society tells us, right?
Right.
But I just thought it was interesting that you mentioned that. And I don't know, I just don't think that there is a normal, right? Like everybody is in their own unique journey, right? Of like living their life and we're living in really crazy times right now, technology changing and they're saying
Mhm.
by 2028 there's going to be like 85 million people jobs replaced. Like, I mean, it's just crazy. Not to
And
instill fear, not to instill fear, but it's
mhm.
just, people are changing their ways of like mindset of things that they want to do. Like the whole pandemic, like more people started working from home, right? And wanting to live their mission is what I'm trying to get at. So
Yes, yes.
what is your thought on that? I just wanted to expand a little bit about this, the norm.
Well, it's to me, I agree. I agree. There is actually no normal life, but because everybody's journey is all weaved, but there's that script. There's that script that we're conditioned to, and you laid out the script. And when I went off into my cult life, that was really going against everything that I'd been brought up in. And that got to be, I have to say that it was a very dark cult life. It wasn't like it was good. It was um very dark. Like he was just very he he was he was able to use energy and stuff for what I would call black magic, honestly. That's just how it's a good way to there it is. But so then I really second guessed myself. And that's when I tried, okay, well, maybe this script or normal thing has something to it. And then everybody's behind me, like, oh, yay, you got a house, you get married, like, oh, yay. And I was miserable. So to me, the true normal is really honoring yourself
Mm.
regardless of what happens, like really staying genuinely connected to what it is and trusting that regardless of what you've been conditioned to believe, what you think you've been conditioned to believe, or what people may try to enforce upon you. But I think normal is normally being you.
Oh, you said that so beautifully. That really touched my heart. That was really, really beautiful what you said.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. So take us on this journey of how you veered into becoming a manifestation coach and maybe what happened in between there, but I'm sure it's a lot, but just anything you'd
It's
like to
a
share.
lot. It is a lot, but there is this a couple real good, amazing defining moments. So 2020 for me, I was in heaven. I was like, this is great. I get to spend all this time by myself. I took myself on a spiritual pilgrimage in my backyard. Instead of going off to India or, Israel or these different places, I was like, well, here's the time.
Yeah.
So I did that, and that was beautiful and amazing. But at the end, I was living, here's the thing, I was living in a little cabin, and it was in town, but it was hidden from people. People still don't even know what's there. And a little creek running through is gorgeous. But the landlady, oh my gosh, Janet, she was so insane and controlling. And I'd show up to my house, I'd drive in, and I'd find her like peeking in my teepee. She lives in towns away from me. Or she was just always trying to interfere and interject herself into everything, very controlling. So that was the intense downside. So anyway, one day, this was at the end of 2020, it was in December, and I received a phone call from her, and she had driven by the property, and she was mad that I didn't have her United States flag hanging on my, like, flaying on my doorstep. She was like really mad about it. And we got into an argument about it. I was like, no, I'm paying for this. This is my place, and I'm not sporting a flag. Thank you very much. But after that, we hung up the phone, and I was so triggered. Like, this is just that one little, what do they call that? The needle that broke, what is it? The straw that broke the camel's back. That's what it is. Like that one little thing that just popped. And I got off the phone, and I blew up. I blew up, and I was like, the reason I blew up is, no, nobody's controlling me. And I'm sick of feeling like, and I'm paying all this money to this woman, just to live there. And I'm not really living free like how I want to be, which is traveling around the world and being free and connecting with people and serving, and not just, being constricted right here, spending everything I could to pay her. And so I instantly jumped into imagining the all of the quantum field of all the universe, of all the dimensions of everything. And I just started screaming and stomping into the ground so that I could see the waves and everything instantly reacting and hearing me, that I was free. I was screaming, I am free, and I am abundant, and I am traveling. And I did this with so much intense and focus and power for like an hour. I put everything I had studied all these years into the here and now. No more waiting. I was done waiting. I was like, no, I don't mean tomorrow. I mean now. I was like, "Arr." And so, anyways, after that, it was about an hour, I guess, I sat down, and I could just feel all of this like vibration and changes. And I had to let myself transform instantly. If I wanted to do a paradigm shift, I had to let go. I had to let go of my fear. I had to let go of my lack of abundance. I had to let go of um, fear of traveling alone solo, and just all the things, I just had to let it go. And then after I meditated for a few hours, I was kind of scanning the world. Where do I go? I ended up finding Colombia in my meditation.
Hmm.
And so that was a Friday night. And on Sunday, I found a ticket to Colombia. I bought a one-way ticket for $89, which I was like, really? Okay. And by Wednesday, it was December 31st, 2020, at midnight, my plane took off with fireworks all around because it's New Year's, right? And so I left 2020, and I left everything and just flew away. And I went to Colombia. I ended up staying there for 2 months. And during that time, I had no agenda, and I just allowed myself to, okay, I'm going in the flow. I'm in the flow. I'm going to trust everything and everything. And I did. I went all over the whole country. I traveled more of Colombia than most people that live in Colombia. And I was just in perfect grace, perfect alignment. Well, then the scary thing became coming back home, because you don't get it, it's like, now I'm going to go back into that old structure, going back into that house. I'm going back into needing, all of the things. So the challenge was, I have to remain in the flow in my life, no matter if I'm traveling or not. Traveling for me, it's very easy. But when you're not traveling, Jennifer, what are you gonna do? And so since then, I've been to, I don't even know, maybe like 20 countries or something like that. And
Wow.
and so that was the very beginning of this next trajectory of really, really manifesting. Well, when I was traveling, now that I'm traveling a lot, I'm doing all these long flights and I'm really good. I can find some really good deals, but I found myself traveling all across the world on these long flights in economy.
Mhm.
And I can't sleep sitting up. Like no matter what, I can't force myself to do it. I can't relax into it. And so one time I flew to South Africa on a 16-hour flight. And there was this, I was looking at the row next to me and it was up against a wall. And I saw a tiny little area that I could get on the floor behind the chairs and crawl back there and, sleep. And so then I was like, after that miserable, and I did that. I like laid on the floor in this plane for that part of for that trip. And then when I came back and I was going on another trip, and the night before I left, I was like, you know what? This is ridiculous. I'm traveling first class across the ocean tomorrow. That's what I'm doing. Right? Like this is what's happening now. So and now I'd been really practicing manifestation techniques and really putting into play understanding it and trusting it and really realizing it. And so I went to sleep. I laid down. I was in my teepee, and I visualized everything. I imagined, not visualize. There is a distinction there, but I visualized everything and imagined it to fully be. And the next day, I connecting flight in Chicago. So I got on the plane like normal. I went to Chicago, and after dinner, after I ate I was in Chicago now, they announced that they had overbooked their plane. And they were offering somebody a free first class ticket if they would leave the next day. And I was like, oh, there's my cue. Because you don't have to, when you're manifesting, right? You don't have to do anything. You don't make it happen and like, hey, I need a first class ticket. And what are you going to do for me for free? Or, you don't push it. You allow, you imagine it and you trust and you allow. And so I walked up to them and they were like, oh my God, you're the best. You're traveling alone. You're flexible. You don't have checked bags. Like, yeah, this is amazing. But we can't give it to you until this plane is fully loaded. If somebody doesn't show up on this plane, you have to get on this flight. It's like, okay, that's fair. Somebody didn't show up on the flight. I had to get on that plane. And that person that did not show up was in the exact first class seat that I imagined myself in the night before. And after that, I was like, okay, I got this.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's kind of a little trajectory. And just a little side note on the thing with that cabin in the house is that when I got to, this is kind of backtracking into another story, but it's so good. Um, I was in South Africa. I'd been there for like 2 days. And then a huge storm came through our area, and it was called the Marshall Storm, if anybody remembers that. It burned up an entire town right out in between Boulder and Denver, and just everybody's places just were wiped out. And during that storm, there's this huge, huge tree right by that cabin that I was living in, and it blew over and on the cabin. So like crushed the cabin. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I don't need to decide if I'm going to deal with this woman anymore. Like, okay. So I stayed in South Africa for a couple months and then I came back, and I didn't have a place to stay. So that's why before I went on that trip to first class trip, I was sleeping in my teepee in my friend's property by a river until I started figuring out what I was doing. So it's like, okay, that place is closed, on to the next.
Well, all that energy, that stomping and everything you were doing, you manifested Mother Nature to, well, not to destroy it. No, I didn't mean to say that. I meant that you put so much positive energy in that space on that land. And it's also, it was the universe just saying that you deserve so much better, right? So Mother Nature just took its natural course.
Right.
There was so much positivity there. It was like, nope, you're not going there. Nope, nope, nope.
Exactly, exactly. And now there
Wow.
was always you're right about that. There was always a little bit of tension there because of that. And also, I deeply wanted to live in the mountains, which is where I'm at right now. And in April, I'm moving down into a cabin down by the river that's with this wonderful, the owner is wonderful, this awesome old man, and it's gonna not have that crazy tension around it. But it was a gift. I felt like, oh, okay, let's just snap into another reality real quick. Thank you, mother.
Wow. Well, you're a powerful woman. That's really, wow. I literally have, literally in my body right now, I feel like this energy going down my body right now, just listening to you.
Oh, wow.
And then I can feel it in my fingertips. It's like I feel like literally it sounds wild, but like literally that energy that you were talking about that you were doing in the house of stomping, like I feel that positivity. Like it's just like wow, you know.
Yes, yes. Well, today is Chinese New Year.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Which
okay.
which is also it means it's the new moon. And the new moon, that's rhythmic, but that comes every 29 days. But the new moon is the time where you can go into this beautiful deep meditation and really be that what you want to create. And I do that. I do a lot of guided meditations, especially on the new moon, and really take people into that world that they truly, truly desire and guide into how to become that. But you do that, like take all that energy that you're feeling and really allow it to be today. And then watch it, watch how it like unfolds. So
Wow.
that's something that you're feeling it right now.
Yeah, something that's flowing right now, if it's something you're open to, would you mind leading us in, I don't know, something mini meditation right now? Something, would you
Oh,
be
I
open
would
to
love
that?
to. I would love
Bring
to.
value to our audience and
Yeah.
those of you guys that are really resonating with this, Jennifer, she does coaching for this, and her link will actually be below, but please check it out and book a session with her. Um, but yeah, with that, yeah, does that resonate with you? Do you want to, doesn't have to be
Yes.
long. It's doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, 5 minutes. But yeah, what would you
Can
be
it be
open
a
to
little
doing
bit
that?
more than 5 minutes? Is that okay with you?
Oh yeah, yeah, whatever you want. Yeah, I just wanted to ask if you feel comfortable
Oh, I
to.
would love to.
Okay, so you got the floor. It's all you. I'm gonna
All
close
right.
my eyes and just
Okay. Yeah. Just give yourself a minute. Close your eyes. Take 3 really good deep breaths to bring yourself into this new space. And when you breathe, make sure you're breathing from the bottom of your torso, not just your chest, so you're feeling fully. And now let your breath get really slow and breathe deeply again from the bottom of your torso all the way up. Just kind of like the waves that come into the ocean, let it slowly come in and recede and allow everything to slow. Allow your mind to fully release of everything before this moment, anything you're doing after, and just give yourself full permission to fully be right here, connected with your breath. Now we're going to sync our frequency of our brain into the theta mode, which is a lower frequency, which is really, really powerful for manifesting and creating. So I'm going to count down from 10 to 1. And when I count down, you imagine yourself going down a flight of stairs. And with each step, we're going to really, really allow ourselves to release into a deeper state of meditation so that by the time we get down to the bottom, we'll be able to sit and be in the deepest meditation you can imagine. 10, 9, 8, 7. Allow yourself to release. 6. Start to really surrender into nothingness. 5, 4, 3. Your body is so relaxed you can't even feel it. 2, your mind is at complete peace and stillness. 1. Now you're in this space where nothing, the great nothingness. There is only I am. And now in front of you, you might see a door or a portal. And on the other side of this door or portal is that which you truly desire. It might be something you truly desire today, this week, this year, a way of living, a new, whatever it is. Just let yourself tune into that real quick. What is it? You don't need to get into a lot of details, but just feel whatever pops up. It could be simple. Maybe you lost something that you want to find. It doesn't matter. And on the count of 3, we're going to open this door or portal and step through into the reality that fully exists right here, right now, as that fulfilled desire. 3, 2, 1. Let yourself move through this portal. Land in this new world. It's like a hologram. It's fully real. It's fully alive. And you're observing it to start out with. And look at it with that desire, pick one scene where it means it's done, it's finished, it's accomplished, it's fulfilled. And just imagine that one scene and be in it. Look at the lighting. What else physically is around you? Really allow your eyes to absorb the colors, your ears to absorb what sounds you might hear. What does the air feel like? Who is in this scene? And now realize you're here. Realize you are here. Allow it to be so lucid and real. And feel that joy that you feel. And you might also feel a huge sense of relief. Now allow your body to really feel these feelings. And now that you feel them, you start to imagine this huge, huge full moon. It's 10 times the size of a regular supermoon. It's huge, and you feel it rising, and you see the light starting to shine upon this and twinkle upon this reality that you are in. Feel that sensation of that light of the moon, and start to feel the magnetic pull, just like if you're taking off in a plane or going really fast in a train or car or something. You feel that magnetic pull that the moon is magnetizing this entire scene. Now, with all of your gratitude, allow the whole scene to come condensed down into a tiny little dot like the size of an atom, and bring it right inside of your heart center, which is where the soft spot where your ribs come together. That's the front. Bring it right behind that into your heart center and your spine, right behind that. And allow that scene to be there with joy. Feel the happiness and the love. And also be like, dang, I'm good. Look what I just realized. And on the count of 3, what we're going to do is we're going to take this tiny little dot and we're going to pull it back really, really tight, like a slingshot or a bow and arrow. Okay. And we're going to pull it really, really far back. And then when I say 3, we're going to release it, and you're going to let it fly out into the universe and multiply infinitely, so that every single plonk in energy instantly is hearing this, feeling this, creating this. It is done. So everything readjusts itself to this new reality. So pull it back. Pull it back with a lot of tension. 1, 2, 3. Fully let go. Fully trust. And allow. That's your job, not how. How is taken care of by everything else. You let the magic in. When you're ready, you can take a deep breath into your physical body with a big smile on your face, like how good this feels that you now have that which you desired before. And allow your whole body to readjust to this new energy. And slowly open your eyes. Sorry if you heard that.
Oh my God, wow. I don't know how you guys are feeling, but that was, wow, that was so powerful. Oh my God. Wow. Do you mind if I can just grab some tissue really quick?
Yes, yes.
How is everyone feeling?
My dog
Wow.
is, anytime I do that and I make that noise, he always gets all excited and nervous.
Uh,
They're like he's
mhm.
pacing around me and like
Wow, that was so powerful. Wow. Oh my God. Wow.
thank you for bringing that out and letting us all share that together. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Can I share with you what came up for me, if that's okay?
Yes, yes,
Super
please.
personal, but I would just like to share is that what came up for me is that I desired to find my soulmate. And I pushed that aside so many times, and but not to the I'm not it's not something that, I'm chasing. I just trust the universe that it's gonna happen when it's gonna happen. But in that moment, it's just like that session that we just the little mini session that we just did, I felt that it was the universe telling me that I know that that's what you want, and I don't want you to forget that and lose faith in yourself, right? And wow, that's just so beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the thing with soulmates or anything, like if there's something that we really desire, a lot of times we have like something that comes up, a fear or a trust issue with ourselves or with other people or whatever it is, right? And so when we can make that shift of like, yes,
Wow. That's powerful.
then it's actually able to happen.
Hmm, that's really interesting. I'm just curious, and those that are listening, can you tell us a little bit more about what you do? So, this was just like a little, I don't know if you want to call it experiment, but just like a little bit of what you do. Can you tell us a little bit about, I know you're a manifestation coach, but a little bit more about like how you help people with that. It's like, is it, um, yeah, just tell us. I'm really curious to know.
Okay. So what I did is I created it's on an app and it's called the Freedom Portal.
Okay.
And the app isn't on the App Store, but you when you contact me, we'd sign you up. But anyways, within the app, it's a 6-week challenge. And we get really clear on what your desires are. And through that week, each week, I have different meditations and different things for you to do, whether it's like looking at something for instance, during that process, what ends up coming up is limiting beliefs. So about halfway into the program, those tend to start to like come up. So that week we work through those because that means when limiting beliefs are like coming up, that means you're accelerating. You're actually doing something. When they don't come up and everything's comfortable, well, then usually you're pretty plateaued. So
Mm.
when they're coming up, then it's like, okay, cool. Now let's deal with this. And the way that I do that, the different tools that we use are meditation. And then I also have some things that I ask you during that week, and you write it down in you have an art journal. And in this art journal, some of it's writing and some of it's like expressing creatively. I'm also an artist and an art teacher. And so we go from meditation right into just creating. Just a lot of times for a lot of people, it's very abstract. It's not like you're trying to create a masterpiece or like, oh God, I'm not an artist. No, we're linking your both sides of the brain together. We're allowing it to work. And during that process, what ends up happening is you start to tap into more like what happened for you just now. We would keep going and things would start flowing through and it kind of get more into changing the your chemical makeup because you're working through creativity in your body and that kind of stuff. And then we also have if you do it with coaching, then we meet once a week and really go through what's going on with you, what you need more assistance with, or we're just doing more like spontaneous meditations like what we just did here, just whatever's natural that comes up. And yeah, it's a 6-week challenge and it's really beautiful. It's really fun.
Wow, sounds incredible.
Thank
And
you.
those of you, you're welcome. Again, those of you that are interested or resonating with this, the link will be below. You can schedule a session with Jennifer. Is there
Yeah,
a website or
I'll give you the
is there
oh,
somewhere some people can go? Maybe someone's in their car listening and they want to write it down. Your
yeah,
website.
well, what I'll do, I'll give the Calendly link, and then you can just book a free session with me. And, we can just get right in there and book a free session. And then, if somebody's writing it down when they're driving, I guess you could go to the Freedom Portal app, which is, www.freedom and then dash portal dash Oh, I have to like, I don't even have it in my head right now. No,
That's
but just
okay.
go
The
to
details will be
Calendly.
below. Whatever portal,
Yeah.
whatever platform you guys are listening, just
Thank you.
and you can click on the link. So keep it
Yeah,
simple.
yeah, and I'd love to connect with anybody that wants to just connect for free, let's just set it up, and it's always my honor and not and passion. Like it's so nice to like meet with people because when I connect with you, Janet, then that like and what happened with that meditation was because I was connected to you. And so that just kind of naturally happened because of you in the way that it happened. It's not, I don't have a set program of how exactly I always do this. So I really look forward to meeting with everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have an Instagram or anything or Facebook?
I do. I do. My Instagram is Freedom Portal, Freedom Portal app, APP.
Okay.
That's my Instagram.
Okay. We'll put that below too.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I feel really full. I feel like this has been just a really incredible podcast episode. We can definitely do it again in the future.
Oh, for sure.
This
Yes.
has been really beautiful. Just so the way I like to end, just any last minute words. Actually, I have one more question for you. What does happiness from within mean to you? What does happiness from within mean to you?
I love that question. Happiness from within is when you are in alignment, for me, when you are in alignment with yourself and you're allowing the flow of your higher self, which a lot of it is unknown, to move through you and to guide you and bring you forth rather than blocking it off and trying to control things, just allowing it to be. And then when I do that, it just opens up and magic, wonderful things start happening. You know, if I was out of alignment, I probably would not be here on this awesome podcast with you. And it's interesting how I even found it. So just allowing it to be free to be. Yes, you're totally free to just be.
Wow.
There you go.
Any other last minute words that come up from your heart that you'd like to share?
I keep seeing lipstick on my teeth.
Oh, that's okay. It's off now. No problem. What you were saying was just so great. See, the lipsticks even got excited. Like, oh,
um, I would just like to share one thing that my mission for everybody on the planet is to be fully self-realized. I feel like that everything can be solved when everybody's fully in alignment and trusting themselves because then everything starts to they can just problem solve or they can create exactly as they want to be. And so I just want to share that that's what I see our world totally like everybody being fully self-realized.
wow. I love that. That gave
Yeah.
me goosebumps again.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you're just such a magical being of light. Like, thank you so much for everything you've shared. I definitely feel very inspired and sure that those that are watching or listening have gotten a lot of value. So I want to thank you so much from my heart to yours for being a guest here on Happiness from Within. And I just wish you a wonderful, fabulous day.
You as well. Thank you.